Hey, do you ever have those days where your mind is just like, I'm not good at things, nothing that I'm doing is creating traction, and I just want to go back to bed? Well, if I'm really honest, I have those days often. As an entrepreneur, my mind is not my friend a lot of the time, unless I give it things to think about. Like I actually give it tasks. And so what I mean by that is this: when my mind starts going there, like really goes to the places, you're like crap at what you do. Like you're barely reaching anybody. You're not making enough of a difference. Like you should just give up. Um, and then it goes to things like this, like my mind squirrels and it's like, oh, I'm painting that wall over there where my um, thermostat is. And that's showing, yes, I'm painting that wall over there. So anyways, going back to where we're at. So when I say I'm crap, I don't fight it. There's a lot that I'm crap at. And so instead of fighting it and defending it, which actually gives it more power, I just go, yeah, okay, so you're crap at some things. But let's discover like what you're good at. What is creating traction, right? So we generally focus on the things that aren't working. Like this isn't creating traction, that's not working, da 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 da, all those things. Instead of looking at like, what is creating traction? What is meeting people where they're at? What is lighting me up? What inspires me to keep going? Like what creates momentum in me, right? And so instead of like running forward with those questions and just asking them like I just did, like it's just like boop, 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 like hang with them, like actually ask, like, but where in my business is there momentum getting created? Like where, like what are the people that are showing up? How could I show up for them more? Because if you show up for them more, most likely you're going to show up for people who are like them more and touch them even more. And then going to the things like this is an important one. So don't go past it too quickly. What lights you up when you're doing it? Like what creates momentum? Like I met with a couple college age kids the other day, adults, young adults, right? And so they referred to me by another college age young adult that I work with. And literally, I got off those connection calls and I wanted to run around the house screaming like all the amazing things that I could scream in this world because I was so excited to meet them. I was excited to meet them in their struggle, but I was excited to meet them in this ask that they had. Like, I just need support to move to a different place. Like, I don't want this to keep happening anymore. And what we discussed lit them up. It was a yes for them. So this wasn't about getting excited, like, oh, I'm getting a new client. It was about being the answer that they were seeking and watching them in a connection call transform. I'm like, I want to do that more. How do I meet more people like that who are ready at that space, who are ready for the excitement of the change, and they can connect and know that they're safe with me? Here's another one that like totally excited me and made me giggle the other day. I had a client who started a call with me and she was saying, she's like, oh my gosh, I just have to tell you, I'm kind of triggered by the fact that like I just love being in your space. And I don't want to always be like that. And really what she was saying is, I don't want to be dependent on you. Like, I didn't come to these sessions to become dependent on needing your energy in order to feel safe and loved and appreciated. And I just laughed and I said, yeah, like we're totally going to move to this space. And you're in the space constantly where you don't need me. Like, I don't think she's even worked with me in the last probably 4 months. We just got back together for a couple sessions and then she'll be out on her own again. But it was that space of her acknowledging for herself, like how appreciated, seen, safe, and uplifted that she felt. And then reminding herself, I got to be this for myself. Right. So that made me like, I'm like, yes, more of this. I want more clients who don't want to constantly be seeing me. Wild, right? But that lights me up because I know that I've done my job in empowering them. So instead of you like even connecting to what I'm saying, like really look at what is creating in your life. What's creating traction? What are you good at? Like you might be really good at doing the chores around the house when you play music. It's something I love to do. I actually love it when I put a timer on. I'm like, in the next 5 minutes, let's see what I can get done. Like I'm a beast when it comes to doing those kinds of things. Like I have a blast. I'm a really good dog mom. Like go into the things that like light you up and that also light other people up and that are creating movement in your life. Ask those questions. And it's not, again, I just want to point out, because oftentimes we think we're moving from the negative to the positive. No, we're not. What we're doing is we're getting really curious without defending any part, because you know what? That those first statements that I made, I'm not creating traction. It's not worth it. I'm crap at this. I'm crap at some things. That's why I also hired a marketing person, right? And I have an intern. I'm not creating traction in certain areas. And so that's a time to reevaluate. If you just always try to like make it positive, you don't receive the message from it. Some things over here aren't working, but things over here are. So maybe if you invest less energy over here and invest more over here, or there might be an area that you haven't even played with yet. And what's come up for me lately is introversion. I'm an introvert. And there's a lot of false information about introverts out there. And a lot of introverts aren't given the tools that they need in order to be successful because they're constantly made wrong for their introversion. Introversion is a superpower if you know how to use it for yourself and for others. Right. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. Like, I want to talk about being an introvert. I want to talk about being a parent of an introvert. You might be an extrovert, but you have an introvert child and it feels so wrong, right? Because all the ways that you've gone out in the world and created success, they can't create it. All these things can light you up. You listen to, these are the areas, don't go there. It's truth. Like, maybe I need to course correct some of those. The easiest way to course correct is to find where I'm lit up and to just go there, right? I don't need to fix those. I don't need to chastise myself. I just need to go, where are my energies needed? Where lights me up? And those are the areas I'm going to go to, right? And then you keep doing it over and over again. You never, ever land at the end. You're constantly getting information. Your emotions, your sensations, your intuitions, they're not meant to be turned into positives. They're meant to be listened to. Anyways, I'm going to leave you there. Sometimes I talk too long. So please, please, please interact. My favorite thing is when you put comments in the comments below and let me know like what resonates, what doesn't, what works for you, what doesn't, what you're finding for your own life, even if it's totally different from what I'm sharing. Keep creating relationships in that way is really fulfilling for me. So if you would put a comment, I would absolutely love it. And no doubt I will respond.